What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I just wanted to make a quick video with some just quick updates. Most notably, Ryan Fitzpatrick has returned to the team, so his time away wasn't that extensive. So I mean, you could take that for what you will. I mean, no matter what, there's going to be different questions asked, right? So now that he's back, we would expect that he would be the starter. Didn't miss too much practice, so it wouldn't affect him too much in that way, so on and so forth. And now we don't have the questions about, oh, who's it going to be, Tua or Rosen? Should that happen? Blah, blah, blah. Fitzpatrick's back. Apparently, whatever he needed to take care of with the passing of his mother, he took care of. And so now he's back. Anyway, so that's that. Just wanted to add a couple other things, though, because the Dolphins are apparently missing some pretty important players from practice, including several wide receivers were out today. Devontae Parker, Kirk Merritt, and Jakeem Grant. And Jonathan Hubbard was also out. He's defensive line. I believe he's a defensive end, which is also not good because that's one of the weakest spots on this roster is the defensive line. So we definitely need everybody that we can there. But when it comes to the wide receivers, prior to, now and everything that's taken place, I said that wide receiver was probably one of the, top positions on the entire team. One of the deepest and one of the most talented, etc. But, then we had Allen Hurns and Albert Wilson both decide to opt out of the season. Two pretty major hits there. And now it looks like Devontae Parker, who apparently hasn't been at practice since the middle of last week, according to Alan Pupar, he's been out since the middle of last week. That is very concerning. Also saw another tweet that Xavier Howard apparently is not going at full speed, although we do know that he just came off of the PUP list and off the COVID list. So he is just getting back to practice, but we are less than 2 weeks away from the start of the, regular season. So that is concerning because it was an Alan Pupar tweet, I believe, and it was part of an article that he wrote about why it's concerning that both Xavier Howard and Devontae Parker, who are arguably, but there's probably not much of an argument to be had, that are two of the top two talented players on the team. So, and the fact that they're not going at full speed is definitely concerning since we're at 2 weeks out. But now also the wide receiver room apparently, is taking some major hits. So, anyway, look, it's going to be rough sledding for this team. Like I've said to you guys before many times now at this point, if somehow, some way the NFL season plays out in its entirety and, they make it through all 16 regular season games and the playoffs. There's no Pro Bowl. I believe they've already canceled the Pro Bowl for this season, if I remember correctly. But, if they somehow manage to make it all the way through that, anybody that thinks that the Dolphins are going to be even okay, even in the middle of the pack, you're fooling yourself. It's like the amount of miracles that would have to take place and the amount of drastic improvement that would have to happen from last year to now is way out of reach, especially when you considering everything, when you take everything into consideration, the complete fucked up offseason. And I've gone through this list of factors a million times before, but it always bears repeating because people don't like to take all of the relevant factors into consideration. People like to cherry pick things to fit their narrative and to fit what they want to see, as opposed to to what the reality is. But the completely fucked up offseason, injuries are definitely going to have already, not just the entire league, but the injury bug has bitten the Dolphins in some pretty key ways to this point, right? They've got pretty much an entirely new roster yet again. Yet again, they are overwhelmingly young and inexperienced. Yet again, the vast majority of them are undrafted free agents and backups and practice squad guys, right? And you know, guys who couldn't hack it in the NFL to begin with on their first try round, right? They've got pretty much an entirely new coaching staff with new playbooks, right? So there's so many different things. Like the chemistry, I can't imagine there's like almost any chemistry with this Dolphins squad. So, you know, when they hit the field in a couple weeks to play the New England Patriots on the 13th, September 13th, they're going to be trash. And they're going to be trash every single game that they play, especially as the injuries mount up, which will mostly likely occur on the defense, because the offense is not going to be able to stay on the field. The defense is going to be out there way too long, and they will incur the majority of the injuries, which, you know, for the most part was the case last year because of the various different factors that I mentioned, etc., etc. And that was definitely one of the many ways in which they proved me right last year. And so, you know, unfortunately, this is the situation we're dealing with, and it is what it is. Hopefully, though, as I've said a million times, I hope that they prove me wrong on all these things. I hope the NFL and whatever can prove that they can safely put on an entire season, which I doubt. And then, you know, additional to that, I wish that and hope that the Dolphins prove me wrong. But I think that they're just a giant fucking dumpster fire, and I've felt that since the day that they fired Adam Gase. And every decision that they have made since then has proven me completely right that this organization is nothing more than just a steaming pile of shit, and they have no idea what they're doing. They can't properly evaluate. They reach for guys. They overpay for guys. And they take guys that there's a bunch of guys that they choose that or that they've brought in that are injury prone, including the guy who's supposed to be their franchise quarterback, you know, blah, 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 for the next, like, 4 decades or whatever, right? So, anyway, look, they're a giant mess. I hope that they prove me wrong, but all the data suggests that they're going to prove me right. We'll have to wait and see. We're not that far out. There are only a couple weeks left, and so we shall see very soon. With that, I'm going to get up out of here. I hope you guys enjoy and appreciate my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comments section. And, of course, as always, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.